bag. We have to catch it.
Welcome to MsMojo, and today we're counting down our picks for the most twisty and twisted developments on Showtime's sensational survival thriller, Yellowjackets. There will be plenty of spoilers to stomach ahead. Number 20. It's Kelly now. One of the biggest mysteries going into Season 3 was who Hilary Swank plays in the present timeline. Another major mystery develops when an anonymous blackmailer sends the Yellowjackets an incriminating tape.
The only people that even know about this are either us or dead.
Both questions are answered when Shauna tracks down the blackmailer, who is none other than fellow Yellowjacket and wilderness fling Melissa. After returning to civilization, she faked her death and built a happy life as Kelly with the daughter of the woman who found the Yellowjackets.
And I swear I tried not to let it happen, but you don't know her. She's relentless and funny and kind, and we love each other.
She still holds her own in a confrontation with Shauna, until the intruder bites off a chunk of Melissa's arm to force-feed it to her. Even after 25 years, some exes just bring out the worst in us.
You really are insane.
Number 19. Lottie and the Bear. The chaos of doomcoming raises questions about Lottie's leadership, but there's no time to discuss them when a bear wanders up to the cabin.
Oh God, oh my God.
Okay, all right, everyone stay calm.
Lottie steps up with a knife, only for the predator to inexplicably submit to execution. This provides food for the group, with Lottie saving the heart as a totem for cult rituals. Some of the girls are now convinced that she truly has a mystical connection to nature.
Lottie, last night, you said we wouldn't be hungry much longer. How did you know?
I just did.
Some fans, however, theorize that the bear was so docile due to illness. Eating this meat could account for some of the Yellowjackets' disturbing actions in the subsequent season. All the same, the slaying calmly yet disquietingly sets Lottie at the head of the food chain. Number 18. Dine and Dash. Older Taissa and Van have dinner at an upscale restaurant as a reprieve from the latter's cancer treatment, among other recent tragedies. The couple ultimately decides to liven up the night by running out on the check.
Ma'am,
Ty, it's
I think you
waiter.
forgot to pay. Excuse me.
He's like in pursuit.
Hello?
When a waiter pursues them into the street, the shock of nearly getting hit by a bus causes him to have a fatal heart attack. So much for the audience's reprieve from tragedy. After Van receives news that her supposedly terminal cancer is regressing, Ty speculates that this man was sacrificed by a spiritual force.
The waiter was a sacrifice, and your new prognosis, that's the gift.
Her remorseful mistress reluctantly supports this idea, but is unprepared for the dark lengths they may have to go for her survival. Number 17. The baby didn't make it. Shauna isn't out of the woods yet after she gives birth to a baby boy. She spends the episode struggling to calm the newborn and protect him from her cannibal cabin mates. The image of her failure to save him from becoming dinner is horrifying enough, but it turns out it was all a dream, including the baby's initial survival. Shauna awakens from her long slumber to the devastating news that he was actually stillborn.
I'm sorry, Shauna. I'm sorry. You didn't make it, Shauna.
It's not exactly a surprise that the boy won't be coming home with the gang. Still, his fate is so heartbreaking and the would-be mother's hallucinations so disturbing as to even leave the audience traumatized. The event may also mark the true beginning of Shauna's descent into madness. Number 16. Seance. What a 90s way for teenage girls to cope with being stranded in the woods. And what a way to discover that someone has run out of meds for schizophrenia. As Jackie leads a seance to appease those who believe their cabin to be haunted, a window suddenly blows open. Lottie begins to panic and frantically mutter in French.
Lottie, knock it off. This isn't a game. Is that French?
She then slams her face against the window, which snaps her out of the fugue state and leaves her with permanent scars. Thus begins the schism among Yellowjackets and viewers over whether Lottie is disturbed by bizarre natural phenomena or connected with something mystical. One thing is certain, the spirits were not confirming for Misty that her feelings for Coach Ben are mutual.
I need to know the truth. Does
the person I like me back.
Number 15. Silencing Crystal. Teen Misty finds a kindred spirit in Kristen, who is herself so desperate to be liked that she lets everyone think her name is Crystal.
My name isn't Crystal. It's Kristen. Everyone got it wrong on the first day of practice and I never corrected them.
That's nothing compared to Misty destroying the plane's emergency transmitter after the Yellowjackets showed appreciation for her survival skills. When she confides this in Kristen during a stroll around a cliff, there's only one way to talk her out of plans to tell the rest of the girls.
Crystal? You're the reason we never got rescued?
Misty aggressively threatens her friend until Kristen accidentally slips off the cliff to her death. But was it really an accident? Misty's mentality is a mystery even to herself. With this new dark secret, though, her edgier, eccentric behavior is no longer endearing.
I'm sorry, Misty.
Number 14. Laura Lee takes off. After studying the manual of a private plane abandoned in the woods, Laura Lee goes to find help.
I've been studying the flight manual for weeks, and I checked the gas tank. It's full. I used to watch my grandpa fly. He even let me steer a few times. I know that I can do this.
It's a bit too early in the show for audiences to share the Yellowjackets' optimism for this mission. Indeed, Laura Lee doesn't even clear the lake before her teddy bear Leonard spontaneously combusts. The fire quickly spreads throughout the plane, causing it to explode. Lottie collapses in horror as she watches her friend become the first casualty since the previous plane crash. Everyone else is baffled by their hope for escape literally going up in flames. Did a mechanical issue in the old contraption ignite Leonard? Or did something not want the Yellowjackets saved quite yet? Either way, fate sadly had different plans for Laura Lee.
Thanks for worrying about me, Coach, but this is my purpose.
Number 13. The Banquet. The Yellowjackets try to grant Jackie the dignity of a funeral pyre after she freezes to death. However, a sheet of snow extinguishes it just as she's perfectly cooked. Whether moved by fate or driven mad by hunger, her friends feed on the corpse in a frenzy.
She wants us to.
The only thing running through their minds is the hallucination of a regal ancient Greek banquet, an homage to the eating of flesh in Dionysian lore. While Jackie was expected to be the first cannibal feast, it's a more surreal ceremony than expected. The Yellowjackets come to regret this twisted act of desperation.
Something ate her. How can we...
Taissa!
We ate her.
Still, between their delusional consecration and Coach Ben's shock at the reality, it's clear that nobody is in control in this nightmare. Number 12. The Aftermath. The story begins with a high school soccer team's plane crash en route to a national tournament. The nightmare really begins after the crash. Misty wakes up to find several passengers gruesomely killed in their seats, and another burning alive. The handful of survivors burst out of the plane's emergency door to more carnage and mutilation in the woods. This includes Coach Ben Scott, who faints when the girls free him from a bulkhead to find his right leg completely crushed.
Please, there's nothing we could do. Jesus. Coach.
In 5 minutes, Yellowjackets redefines the spectacle of a plane crash sequence with grotesque graphicness. It's the first testament to the show's ability to subvert expectations even with the shocks we see coming. It won't be the last.
Holy macaroni. Is that...
He's gotta be dead, right? Don't look.
Number 11. Wolf Attack. A pack of wolves spoils a long overdue quiet night for the teens.
Where's Dad? Taissa, the hold over there. Go!
Taissa harshly thrashes one of the beasts to protect Van, but is too late to save her face from being horribly mauled. It's not until the funeral pyre when the group realizes Van survived the attack.
Really?
Fire.
The jarring incident affirms how the most gruesome moments in the wilderness can happen at any time. For good measure, though, we get to see Akilah sew up Van's face without proper equipment or anesthesia. The bigger controversy was over how neat the scars ended up being. Though such clean facial reconstruction suggests that the injury was so extreme merely for shock value, you can't argue with the results of either. Number 10. Shauna's physical therapy. The distraught Shauna insists that Lottie was responsible for her son's death. Recognizing this pain as a liability, Lottie allows Shauna to pummel her. But nobody anticipated her sacrifice to be so brutal.
Shauna, I know there's a lot of pain right now, but let it out. Shauna, we need you. Let it out.
Intercuts of the older Yellowjackets dancing to Live's lightning crashes cleverly convey their underlying tension in the future. Teen Lottie is ultimately left lying half dead and spends the rest of Season 2 recovering. The production team delivers on the grisly visual, but the visceral acting gives it real impact. Courtney Eaton and Sophie Nélisse, who are really best friends, said this scene was one of the most fun to shoot. But the final sequence is a heavy blow to both the audience and Shauna's sympathetic characterization.
Shauna needs to take out her rage on someone, and Lottie, in a sort of messiah-like way, decides to submit to that rage.
Number 9. Burning down the house. Coach Ben has finally had it with the girls by the end of a savage second season.
You don't have to stay here. You're not like the rest of these girls.
Actually, I'm worse.
How can you say that?
I let him die in my place.
Would he really leave them with this parting gift, though? The Yellowjackets wake up one night to find their cabin set ablaze and the door sealed shut. They all manage to escape into the frozen woods, where they watch in disbelief as their only shelter burns to the ground. Whoever set the fire becomes the leading mystery of Season 3, though Shauna's certainty that it was Ben will seal his fate when they eventually reunite with him.
The trial's over, Shauna.
He set the only shelter we had on fire with us inside of it.
This even more savage season ends without identifying the person truly responsible for one of the Yellowjackets' most divisive tragedies. Number 8. Shauna confronts Adam. Shauna heads to Adam Martin's apartment on suspicion that he's the Yellowjackets' first blackmailer. He desperately insists that he didn't research her until after they began their affair.
Okay, yes, I Googled you, okay? And I saw that you were in that plane crash, and I was curious.
Bullshit.
No, it's not. You obviously went through something really messed up, and I wanted to understand.
His panic prompts Shauna to grab a kitchen knife before flashbacks to her trauma in the wilderness compel her to fatally stab him. The Yellowjackets' bloody trouble is no longer just in the past. Before they dispose of Adam's body with disturbing thoroughness, further evidence implicates Shauna's husband Jeff as the blackmailer. He ultimately confesses to trying to extort the other survivors in order to pay off loan sharks.
I thought Taissa, maybe Natalie had the cash. So, I was gonna lose the store, Shauna.
The Sadeckis are in some serious trouble, but Adam's death by impulse sets up Shauna herself as the greatest danger. Number 7. Taissa's altar. It doesn't look like Taissa is much of a dog person. She otherwise seems to be the most well-adjusted Yellowjacket in the future, despite some family dysfunction.
Okay. I love you, Simone.
I'll call you tomorrow.
It's not until her election to the New Jersey Senate that we discover her darkest secret alongside her wife Simone. She's wandering the house when she discovers an altar hidden in the basement. At the center are a heart and a severed head of the missing family dog Biscuit. It turns out Ty has been continuing the dark rituals of her youth during blackouts. Her alter ego, dubbed Other Ty by Tawny Cypress and Jasmine Savoy Brown, will destroy her marriage and political career. Her bloody altar asserts that this is the least of her worries.
If you don't step down from office and seek treatment for whatever this is that is happening to you, I will have no choice but to go to the press. Do you understand that?
Jesus.
Number 6. Javi falls through the ice.
Burn out so the ice doesn't freeze!
Get my hand!
Some believe a higher power is at play when Javi turns up alive and arguably well. This ends up being a tragic gift when Natalie is set to be sacrificed for food. The Martinez brothers intervene, triggering a chase that ends with Javi breaking through the frozen lake. The girls allow the young boy to freeze to death to spare Nat. They tell Travis that nothing could be done, then support him through the unthinkable act of eating his own little brother. Actor Kevin Alvis said that this controversial scene was especially difficult to film.
The hardest scene I've had to shoot on this show, I think so. Like it was tough because, you can't really be truthful to that scene without at least thinking about Luciano, who's like my favorite person. Like he's the best kid ever.
The Yellowjackets can justify Javi's death as the wilderness's choice, but their refusal to stop it marks a breaking point in the ethics of survival. Number 5. The Discovery. The timing couldn't be worse for outsiders to discover the Yellowjackets. They had just mercy-killed Coach Ben and were eating him, not for survival, but for ritual. Lottie felt validated by seemingly supernatural screeching in the woods. But this was actually the collective mating call of a rare frog species being studied by Edwin and Hannah. As hard as it is to explain Ben's severed head, Lottie doesn't bother. She immediately kills Edwin with an axe, then proceeds to eat and paint her face with his brain. At the end of the chaotic chase, the cannibals' chance at rescue hangs on terrified hostages and the now completely feral Lottie. Only by blackmail 25 years later do they learn that this bloodbath was captured on tape. Number 4. The girls go wild. The stranded Yellowjackets make peace with their hopeless situation by holding their own homecoming, or doomcoming.
If we have booze, let's have a party.
Yeah, because we've got so much to celebrate.
Do we need a reason?
We're gonna be dead in a few weeks.
There's a full moon tomorrow night.
And it's almost homecoming.
The festivities are actually pretty uplifting, until the partiers realize that the mushrooms they've been consuming are hallucinogenic. The ensuing frenzy leads to some steamy fun with Travis in the cabin, then a harrowing hunt through the woods. The girls are hallucinating that he's a stag under the influence of a Lottie under the influence. Travis gets lucky after all when the sober Nat and Jackie interrupt the sacrifice ritual. Still, the incident, much discussed among fans, will forever corrupt the Yellowjackets' trust in each other. It also declares the danger in Lottie's unstable leadership over a community of fragile psyches.
It's in all of us, you know. Even him, even you.
Number 3. Shauna's rise and Nat's escape.
Natalie, please, do the honors.
Season 3's past storyline centers on the power struggle between Antler Queen Natalie and the increasingly unhinged Shauna. It's actually Lottie who formally splits the Yellowjackets by refusing to follow Hannah Finch back to civilization. But after Mari Ibarra is sadly confirmed as the so-called pit girl from the series' opening scene, Shauna asserts her authority with a ruthless ritual feast.
The wilderness has made its choice clear. Prepare her for tonight.
While a more tyrannical Antler Queen is crowned, Nat manages to escape to a mountaintop with Hannah's repaired satellite phone. The season closes with an act of rebellion to thrillingly set up all-out war between the two leaders and their supporters. As Nat manages to contact someone, it looks like they're gonna have some company.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can anyone hear me?
I can hear you.
Number 2. Lottie's downfall. Adult Lottie, Shauna, Ty, and Van all have shady business in New York at the same time. Back home, Misty is on the Citizen Detective Forum when Walter texts her a message of condolence. It is then that she finds a photo of Lottie lying lifeless at the bottom of a staircase.
It happened yesterday. I confirmed it myself at the morgue.
This image poetically parallels the baptismal vision that marked her mystical epiphany in the wilderness. Nonetheless, many found the sudden demise of this fan-favorite character to be a crass waste of narrative potential. Such controversy declined with the escalating mystery over which Yellowjacket settled her beef with the dangerous Lottie.
I just received the DNA results for a strand of hair I took from Shauna. It matches what you found under Lottie's nails.
What about my hair?
It looks like Shauna is Lottie's killer.
In fact, it was Kelly Sadecki who impulsively did the deed while confronting Lottie about her mother's dark past.
You're just like her, but more.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Nat takes the shot. The adult Yellowjackets prepare to hunt when Lisa arrives to stop them. They seem to have found their sacrifice, as Misty reveals a syringe with a lethal dose of phenobarbital. But when she goes in for the kill, Natalie jumps in front of Lisa. It would be the most polarizing death in a drama that epitomizes the trope of no one is safe.
What do we do?
Nothing. It's too late.
Of course, the traumatized Nat hallucinating her younger self on the plane confirms that this was a long time coming. Misty ultimately being her best friend's killer leaves her devastated and the Yellowjackets divided going into season 3.
Walter, he killed my best friend.
Whatever the audience's own opinion on how Nat's demise was handled, it impacted the show as much as any of its relentless twists. What other Yellowjackets moments dropped your jaw and turned your stomach? Howl it up in the comments.
I can't believe you thought I was going to book club this whole time.
What? There's no book club?
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo. And be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.